friends, MD Vegan. Today is my Gentle Juicefasting day, once a week, and I can recommend. Fasting is a very ancient culture. It's a discipline. It's in almost in all religious, many religious cultures has been practiced for physical and spiritual reasons. It's firmly embedded in all the cultures. Still doing it, people all over the world, and for good reason. There's also lots of scientific research now. Yeah, it's really important to do the fasting regularly. We're not supposed to eat all the time. That's become clear. And once a week, I remember we had a dog when I was little, and we always only fed him once a week. He didn't eat, and he was perfectly thriving. So for dogs it's good, and for me it's amazing. It is so easy once a week. That is really an easy thing. I need to plan ahead a little bit of time because I want to get my ingredients ahead of time. So now I have everything already here. On the fasting day, I don't need to go shopping on a fasting day. And of course I need to make sure my schedule, my duties all the day, are not really disturbed by my fasting. So I need to fit it in. But the thing is, that is not so difficult, but I need to think ahead of time a little bit. I make a plan. And also, to get out of the fasting is important. There's three things, how to have a plan, to make a plan when it's fitting in the schedule, then to get the ingredients together for the fasting day. I need 2 or 3 liters of juice, 2 or 3 juices or so I make. And then how to get out of the fasting. That's important because fasting has a lot of benefits, and to enjoy the benefits, I need to get out without ruining everything. That's very easy because ruining is easy because we need the discipline a little bit not to eat because we all have habits. Eating is one of the strongest habits we have. Breathing, of course, eating, very strong habits. But when you don't eat, so the body pushes and wants to eat, and so when you kind of be disciplined a little bit and still not eat, resist a little bit, the next day this desire will come back even stronger and you eat. Also, it happens to me all the time after all these are fasting, and the next day I want to eat, and it's very tricky. I eat a little bit, I say to myself, okay, just begin with an apple after fasting day. Just an apple, that's very easy. And I can do that. I eat the apple, I'm happy, I eat it slowly, and I feel great. That everything works. Then I go to my desk, work a little bit, and all of a sudden I think, one more apple. Why not? Or a handful of nuts or so. Why not? It's not a problem. But at that moment, I'm already in the trap because on a regular day, in a usual day, I can have an apple snack or a handful of nuts, no problem at all. For the health, for the weight loss or so, there's no problem eating an apple or have a handful of nuts, raw nuts. But in breaking the fast day, after the fasting, one or the second day, even the second day also, I want to eat more of these snacks all the time, and before I notice, I'm full. That's really tricky. I'm full, but I notice it's only too late. And when it's too late and I've overeaten or breaking the fast day, it has a strong impact. It makes me feel so low in energy. That is different on a regular fast day when I eat, not after a fasting day. I can eat a lot, I can snack a lot, no problem. Because I also mostly eat healthy foods, not too much fat. Nuts is an exception because nuts contain a lot of fat, but they don't make you fat because they have very special ingredients and nutrients that burn the fat actually again. So it's one theory, but that's amazing. But on a fasting break day, so breaking the fast after the fasting, 1 or 2 days after, I have still that desire, and that ruins the fasting results. So that is important for things to make 3 things. So how to plan it, how to get the ingredients, and then how to get out of the fasting. And that may be the most important thing, because it's so sad, it's such a pity. After the fasting, you have done the discipline, you have done everything correct, and then ruining it with eating a little bit too much. A little bit too much goes a long way. That's easy because I'm so sensitive after the fasting. I got much more sensitivity. My body too is very frail still. It's very sensitive. And then all of a sudden I eat a little bit too much, and that goes a long way. It's very bad. Yeah? So important to keep a little bit more discipline for 2 days after fasting for myself. I don't know how you feel about it. And that, with me, it happens after decades of regular fasting. I still have that problem. It's natural because the day you fast, I don't feel the hungry now. Yeah? I've been fasting now all day and last night and still don't feel hungry. That's not the thing. But once I eat, next day, tomorrow, I will have the desire to eat more than I need. And that's the thing. That's the point that gets tricky. So I talked a little bit longer about that because it's so important to me. And I have to really pay attention at that moment. So I better plan my not eating, by breaking the fast. I also plan that a little bit more carefully. Yeah? And it's easy, yeah? But it's so tricky. Yeah? So it's easy if you are aware. Yeah? Then it's easy. But it's also easy not to be aware. That slips so easily. So now I make my new juice, and that is I felt like having a really green juice. I wanted to have many greens today. So I got spinach, cucumber, celery, and parsley. So 4 different greens. Very powerful. First I said make a cucumber juice. Yeah, and cucumber juice is my one of my classic juices. So to begin with juicing, cucumber juice is easy to begin because just the cucumber is so easy to juice. You put a cucumber into a juicer, here's some small pieces, and a lot of juice comes out. This is almost only water. Cucumbers have a 90% of juice, of water, and a lot of healthy nutrients. The greens are the most important nutrients that we have as humankind. Greens are the most healthy, the food. So that's easy to juice. Yeah. Though it doesn't taste that well. Cucumber juice is a little bit bitter and it's not so nice. So that makes it not so easy. But with juicing, the mechanical process of juicing is very easy. To make it delicious, I put apples into it and celery. Celery is the next. I show you first the celery, yeah, because that is the next part of my classic. Yeah, 2 cucumbers and a small amount of celery. This is now more celery than I would use with this. Is only 1 cucumber and a little bit more than 2 stalks. But I have more ingredients, so I do not have the same ratio as in a classical cucumber juice. 2 cucumbers, 2 stalks of celery, and maybe 2 or 3 apples or so. I have a little bit more celery here because I have more ingredients. So this is the classic, and the apple is here. And you see I have a lot more apple than in the classical cucumber juice. This is really a lot of apple. That is maybe 4 apples, small apples, 4 or 5 small apples, to make it sweet, because greens are super healthy, but they tend to be a little bit bitter. That's greens, a little bit bitter and a little bit sour. Apple has a lot of sweetness, and that is nice to balance the green flavor. So cucumber, celery, and now spinach and parsley. That is today the addition. So the classical juice was cucumber, celery, apple, and to that I add spinach and parsley. These are very easy to juice, the spinach here, because that is a very gentle flavor, not very bitter. So that's good to eat, juice. The spinach is easier than cucumber. Though the thing is, it is not technically easy because the spinach is a leafy green. And the leafy green, this leafy green tastes nice, gentle, not bitter, but it is not easy to juice because not a lot of juice comes out of it. You need a lot of green leafy greens to get a little bit of juice out of it, and that makes it, of course, not so easy to juice. So here is a refinement of the cucumber juice, maybe 2 or 3 cups of spinach leaves, and one bunch of parsley. Parsley is also a leafy green, but it's more herb. It's a green herb. It's a very common green herb that is very common in all countries almost. In China they call it cilantro. That's a different kind of green herb, but pretty similar. They have these greens in general. They are so healthy. One part of it is because they cleanse the intestines. And the green in the parsley, in the spinach, in the cucumber, and the green in there is also chlorophyll. The chlorophyll has magnesium inside. And this magnesium inside is super important for our muscles. If you have a tense muscle, if you have a cramp, for example, the sports guys, they know that. Eat a magnesium pill to get the cramps loosened, release the muscle cramps. And that's what chlorophyll does, because of the magnesium inside. And it's super available for our body because, the greens, the chlorophyll that makes the green green, has the same chemical structure, the structure model, like the red blood, the red color from our blood, the hemoglobin. The hemoglobin has the same chemical structure than the chlorophyll. The only difference is, in the chlorophyll, there is the magnesium inside. The central atom is the chlorophyll, the magnesium in the chlorophyll, and the central atom in the hemoglobin, the red blood color, is the iron. Iron makes blood red, and magnesium makes the greens green. The magnesium, of course, is for the muscles, and the iron makes the blood carry the oxygen. So without that we can't even survive. So that the blood can carry the oxygen, that makes us live. Without the blood and the oxygen, we couldn't live. We live on oxygen. Basically, it's the most important nutrient of us, and we breathe it from the air. Can't even survive an hour without. But the magnesium is also very important, and it's very similar. That means it's also very close, very similar. So that is so relative to our physical body. That's all very good. And another thing with regard to the parsley. Parsley is a very strong detox, has a very strong detox. So I have just a bunch of parsley here, and that goes a long way. It is so strong, the parsley, that if I would make a parsley juice only with parsley, it's nice, for example, a parsley with a pear. That's very, very delicious. Also other recipes in smoothies or so, you can try that. But the thing is, if I eat parsley every day in huge amounts, juices, for example, you have a lot of parsley in a juice. If you make a new parsley juice, then the detox can become so strong that you get a headache. It can be so strong. So you don't want to overdo it. But I'm just saying, parsley is very healthy. It's recommended for daily cooking and daily kitchen. Of course, you don't eat large amounts. I'm not talking about avoiding parsley. Just say you can't even overdo it with parsley because it's so strong a detox, a cleanser. I love parsley. I always have it at home. I use it regularly in salads, in juices, in smoothies, in so on. But I'm just saying, parsley juice could be just too strong to detox. Because if you do detox too strong, if you make it the fasting too intense, if you're beginning or so, then you can have even side effects like headaches, or you feel nauseous, you feel bad, because the detox is too strong. When too much of the toxins come into the bloodstream, but that happens with detox, the toxins come into the bloodstream from the fat, where it's stored usually, and then you can get a headache. So you have to take it slow and moderate, fasting with moderation. That's why we call the gentle juice fasting gentle. Gentle juice fasting is moderate, without using violence, without forcing. Just a little bit discipline is needed. And then I moderate it when I feel something bad happens, I feel not so well or so, I just eat a little bit. I have a smoothie or a light salad or a broth or so, and then I feel better. So I make it, slow it down. I want to never feel bad. I always want to feel great. Fasting should be delightful. That's the idea of gentle juice fasting. To be in the flow, to always feel great. Otherwise, the healing, the self-healing process of the body is stopped, is blocked. Feeling great is important because then all the energy flows freely and then we can heal by ourselves. And that's what we do with the fasting. It helps us to heal. A lot of chemical processes going in the body when we use our energy from the fat or from the sugar Yeah, that's what happens in the fasting. These kind of processes are turned around, and that makes us heal also, because we burn the toxins. But that is a little bit too much now. I wanted to focus more on the outer effects of fasting, how to plan it, how to get out of it, and why the greens are so important. The reason why I make a green juice today, because it is super healthy and is so refreshing because of the chlorophyll and the magnesium and so inside. That makes it really cool to have green juice. That's a main part of my fasting. Is I'll pretty much always make a green juice. One green juice, maybe one red juice, maybe a plant milk, maybe a broth, vegetable broth. It's also good for fasting if you have it really filtered the vegetable broth. Also very nice to give you a boost with minerals and so on. So fasting, and the idea of fasting is basically reducing the calories. Yeah, to take the fiber out, to get the intestines a rest, and to have all the energy you take in for creativity, for cleansing, for just feeling great. Yeah. So, and self-reflection too. So now I go to my juice. I have 2 more ingredients. The apple was the base, for the cucumber and celery juice. Then I add parsley and spinach to have more green. And then I have lemon and ginger to refine everything, to give it a boost, to make it more intense. Yeah. A lemon here is also very nice to balance the bitter green flavor, and the ginger here to make it a little bit hot, to give it a little bit heat. Yeah. Ginger is a very cool spice. It can be used in so many recipes, and lemon and ginger is a very good addition to many recipes, where it can give a little bit of heat and sour. To boost the other flavors, to balance the green, the bitter green. Also very nice with apples, lemon and ginger. That's a perfect combination for so many things. So that's what I have, and I have here some of the peel of the lemon. I have saved some peel. I might not use all, because the peel has, in a citrus fruit in general, lemons, oranges and so on, the most healthier nutrients, and also the most intense flavor is in the yellow of the peel, or in the orange of the peel, the color. But it's also a very intense, it's an etheric oil, an oil that can evaporate. And it's very powerful. You just need a little bit, and it can ruin the whole juice. If you have too much of a lemon, it can ruin the flavor, makes it very unpleasant to drink, because it's so strong. But the small amount can go a long way too here with the etheric oils. So I try to juice a little bit of the peel to have this nice flavor, a little bit of tweak. Can be nice. I have to check in between if I can use some more or some less. Some juices like a little bit more of the peel, some don't. Yeah. I will see what happens here. I didn't do this juice before. This adding here of spinach and parsley, I'm very excited about this. I will try now, and a lot of apple. And that is the critical thing. All green juices I know of, they want sweet or sour fruit, to make it delicious. But that's maybe only to me. Most of the people like my juices. I don't know, but some people drink only green juices with nothing fruit in there. That's maybe also nice. I prefer a good amount of fruit. To me, fruit is the key ingredient to make green juices delicious. And I always want delicious. Blender, no. Juicing, it starts now, and I come back in a moment, and I will show you what to me tastes the juice like. It's a good liter juice now. Has a wonderful color, and I have not used all of the lemon peel. I thought it might be too much, so I have left a little bit of lemon peel, and it might be really just the right amount. I tried a little bit in between, seemed good. By time you get a feeling, what kind of ingredients in there, how much or so. As I said, I balance the part of the fruit and the greens usually. I might take a little bit more of the fruit, not in volume, but in weight maybe. Fruit usually are a little bit heavier than the greens, the vegetables. The beet is a difference, of course. Beet only a small amount, and the apple is lighter than beet, but this is just about greens here. And greens are usually lighter than the fruit. So I have a little bit more weight in the fruit to balance the strong green flavor. And so, well, usually I have 2 or 3 apples, for example, and 1 or lemon. Yeah. Otherwise, you have too much of a lemon flavor. 2, 3 apples, 3 apples, that is 3 apples, 3 apples. 1 lemon is the usual ratio to get to the amount of the correct amount of lemon, because not to make it too sour, it doesn't taste well. To me, it has to be balanced, always sweet and sour. And 1 or 2 inches of ginger for that amount. I had a lot more apples here, double amount. Maybe can use double of the ginger. Lemon, I kept 1 only, 1 lemon. Could have taken more, but I know it might be too sour because there's also a sufficient amount of sour in the green flavor. The green flavor, to me, has a natural sour flavor, a tendency to sour, bitter, sour. This is a little bit what I taste green like usually. The sour green flavor is to me very characteristic for the greens. So the lemon add to that a little bit, to balance the bitter and also add to the sourness. So I thought 1 lemon might be okay. So even if I had more of fruit here. But I will taste it now. After all the theory, it looks very nice. And I have not so much, you see, that's just a little bit of Trester, pulp. If you have a garden and it's warm outside, the earth is not frozen, you can dig it into the earth. Just to take a little hole, put the greens in, the Trester in, it doesn't need to be green, and put the rest of the earth on top, and it will be perfect fertilizer for the ground. Can't have anything better there. Really, all the plants love it. So I usually do that when the summertime is or in winter. And you can store this in a plastic bag, for a month or even 2 months. As soon as it's at a certain point, it begins to seeps through the plastic. And then it's time to get it out. Otherwise, you can leave it in the plastic bag, make a knot on top, and keep it there under the sink or so. There's no problem with it. And you don't need to go out all the time, put it in the garden. You can also leave it for some time there, and then when it's full, the bag is full and begins to get a little bit humid outside, and you quickly bring it out. That's all enough. Nothing happens to it. So that's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to taste it now. Wonderful. I can clearly taste lemon peel. It's there, but it's very nice in balance with the green. A strong green flavor. That's exactly what I wanted. This freshness, this little bit sour, happy sour freshness of the green is there, and of course a nice balance with the apple. Very nice. Not too much ginger here. Very good. It's not too hot at all. I could have even used more, but it's okay. So I love this juice, and it's really what I wanted. It's really this complex green part here. I have 4 greens: the celery, the spinach, the cucumber, and the parsley. Parsley and celery have the very strong flavor. Cucumber a little bit bitter. It doesn't go by itself, the flavor. And the spinach has a very gentle flavor, easy to use. But the others are very strong, and together they have a very strong, complex green compound. And that's what I wanted. A complex green flavor here. It is there. It's nicely balanced. It's wonderful. You can try it. Really, it's nice. I show you what it looks like. I pour it into the glass here. You see what it looks like. How creamy it is. The color. The runniness. Very nice. Very happy. I'm looking forward to drink that now. Very slowly, of course, because juices have no fiber. Basically, you reduce the fiber, the parts of the plants that cannot be digested. I mean, use the rule of thumb here. It's a little bit digestive too, but in general, you can say fiber is the part that cannot be digested. It cleanses the intestine, it feeds the bacteria, our very best friends in the intestine that make a huge part of our immune system. The bacteria in the intestine are very important. We have to feed them well, and they love the greens. And they love it. But the fiber is away now. They don't have work now. They have no job today, the bacteria. They have pause. and well, forgot my text now. So the bacteria friends, they have got my attention. So okay, doesn't matter. Okay, the juice is done. I love it. I hope you enjoy, and maybe you want to join our Facebook page with TriYoga moon fasting. TriYoga is the yoga style that where that gentle juice fasting comes from. It has been invented. When you want to know, the name has been given by Yogini Kaiji. That's a yoga master. That's a renowned yoga master over the planet. She has friends and students everywhere. Many TriYoga centers have been opened all over the planet. Very nice. And she told us that the gentle juice fasting would be great because it's so gentle. It's in the flow, and the flow comes from TriYoga. TriYoga has introduced the flow into the yoga world. Now everybody's doing the flow. It all comes from TriYoga. 1980 it has been brought to the yoga world by Yogini Kaiji, and since then it strives everywhere. Everybody loves TriYoga. And in all the countries, many people do other yoga styles, of course, that's also great. The flow comes from TriYoga, and the flow is the idea of non-violence, really the incorporation of the idea of non-violence. That's a basic principle of all kinds of yoga, but only with Kaiji came the idea of non-violence came very close into yoga. And so in TriYoga we don't eat animals. We practice non-violence as it should be. And that has not been so often before. Funny, strangely, I don't know why yogis didn't adhere to it. I think it only came to yoga by Yogini Kaiji, this idea of non-violence, not eating animals, not harming anybody, even to the animals. It has been spared somehow, interestingly, by the whole world before. The idea of veganism is pretty new. Well, there have been people who didn't want to do it, but it has never have become any traction. Some individuals have tried it. In India too, there has been the Jains and the Jainas. That is also an Indian tribe, a religion, a great religion, a world religion also. That is very praising non-violence. But I don't know if they have been really vegan. I don't think so. They pursue the idea of non-violence pretty far. But I don't think they have been vegan. I don't know. But the idea of veganism as such, in this form we know it today, we define it, is new. That has been only invented after the Second World War, the end of the Second World War in England by the Vegan Society, and the first vegan movement, really a movement, came in America in 1987. But funny, interestingly, it has been inspired by Yogini Kaiji. Also, that's interesting. I didn't know that before. I've been vegan for some time. I only met Yogini Kaiji in 2004, but there has been a book that's called Diet for a New America from Robbins. He has written the book that caused a wave of veganism, the first wave movement of veganism in the United States. And in its preface, he mentioned Yogini Kaiji as Kali Ray. That was her name before yoga. Still her name. She inspired it, and she made him rethink it, and write this book. And then the vegan movement was born. Also inspired by her. I didn't know that. It was very interesting, and many people don't know that. And then the really big global vegan movement began in 2014, as documented by the Vegan Society in London. They have also a chapter of veganism, and they were the inventors of the concept, Watson and his friends and his wife and all the guys in the 40s. But it did take till 2014 until the vegan movement really went global. And that was for health reasons. The vegans of the first hour didn't really think much about health. And vegans today, they say, that's for the animals, of course. Most of the vegans say for the animals, of course. But for the global movement, interestingly, it has been health. Because the first big studies on health, why the vegan food is healthier, have been studied in 2013. And that was the time when the vegan movement really began global. And well, so not long ago, now it's 2021, 7 years, we have the vegan global movement. And it's thriving, growing. Now the pandemic is there and given another boost to the vegan movement. It's very sad, so many people die. So sad, but what can we do? I mean, we have to go through that and learn. We have to learn any lesson we can to prevent the next one. So let's all go vegan. Do it. Let's do it now. It's really no time to lose, because the animals are suffering, humans are getting sick, and the nature is destroying the nature. The humans do that with their technology, and so let's do it now. People, I guess, are waking up everywhere. It's a huge awakening now. I feel it's really great. I'm very grateful for that, finally, and that's why also I'm doing it, right? So there's a Facebook page that's called TriYoga. That's why TriYoga, because of yoga ecology, the flow, and the vegan movement. TriYoga moon fasting. You can join there. You can become a member, and I always post my new juice recipes once a week. There's a moon calendar for the best fasting days. It's called fasting calendar or so, and otherwise, you can also just subscribe to MD Vegan on YouTube. That's me on YouTube. You get a new recipe every single day, and you also find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, on Facebook, of course. MD Vegan, I try to be many places, so to meet many people, so to spread the idea of veganism, to make it easy for everybody and a delight. It is a delight, it's very easy. You have to know a little bit about it, but it's not difficult, it's very easy. Fasting helps a lot. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. Hope to see you soon.